Welcome anyone to our podcast. This is 2 Weeks to Kill You. One more week of podcasting going up, and joining me this week again, I got Devin, aka Moss for Life. Say hey, what's up?
Welcome, everyone.
And JJ, aka Red327. JJ.
Yo, what up?
And wanted to do another podcast, obviously, even though we're near the end of the year. Things are slowing down. As I look at my little itinerary, there's not a lot of news that happened, but I still think some pretty big news stories to talk about. Nothing like the game awards, but hey, want to keep doing this podcast for anyone that happens to be listening. So, before we get into all that, just want to talk about what have you guys been playing. JJ, you been playing anything else besides what we're playing right now, Call of Duty?
I've been playing a ton of old school RuneScape right now. New game. There's a new event right now. League. So lasts only 2 months. 1 month in, just trying to grind the skills out and shit. And that's pretty much it.
RuneScape. How old is that game now?
Like 20 plus years.
Holy shit! And I know it still has like a very, very dedicated like fan base.
Well, the thing is, they
Yeah,
evolved like
GG.
in 2009, like or like 2008. They changed the combat to kind of more like WoW. It kind of sucked ass because it's like if I wanted to play a WoW clone, I would just play fucking WoW.
That's
So
true.
a lot of players just fucking quit pretty much at that point. And then in like 2012 or 13, they had a petition to bring it back to like the original how it was in 2007, and everybody fucking voted for it. It passed. They brought back the old shit. They update new content. The nice thing about it is they get stuff from like RuneScape, which is the current one, RuneScape 3, the new one. They get some of the ideas from them. They bring it to old school. And sometimes the old school team has some ideas that RuneScape 3 doesn't, and I'll take some of that. RuneScape 3 is dog shit, but um, they can do their own shit. Super fuck the microtransaction. I pay everything and stuff. But I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Just lay back, play on your phone, do whatever. Super like AFK. Like I'm playing right now, but I'm playing zombies.
Yeah. Yeah. RuneScape, man. It's a fucking game that won't die, I think. Anyways, Devin, what have you been playing lately?
Uh, just trying to get my seriously achievements in Gears 5. And in the mail, I just got this week. I was able to get a really cheap copy of the new Avatar game. So, but next week's podcast, I'll play that a little bit. Um, I'm looking forward to it. I enjoy the movies. I mean, they're not perfect, obviously, but I think it'll be fun. It'll be a pretty formulaic Ubi game based on what I've heard from reviews, but I think it'll still be fun to go around in that, but got a cheap copy, so can't complain. But yeah, and then now Call of Duty. That's about
Oh
it for
yeah,
me.
just I don't know if I would
But
add this
trying to
as a
grind all
yeah.
those master escape hives is kind of a bitch to do.
I mean, it's not called seriously for nothing.
I
I
know.
mean, you were. I know you remember the grind for that first seriously in
Mm-hmm.
Gears One. Oh my God, the stories I could tell of just
Mm-hmm.
doing different seriously achievements. I mean, you
Exactly.
said
Well,
it.
just wait. Gears 1 was the most frustrating because you didn't actually know when you would get seriously because
Oh, I know.
there's
I
all
was
these
like at
rumors.
13,000 kills when it finally
Yeah.
popped.
I removed a couple of people I wasn't really friends with because they happened to log on after matches, and I thought I got seriously,
Yeah,
and I removed them off my friends list.
yes, I remember that. I
So
remember
I'm
that.
like,
A match would
dude,
end,
fuck this
and you'd
guy.
hear
Why would
the
he sign on right now?
yeah.
Why would he sign on when I'm about to get my achievement? Fuck
Oh
this
my
guy. I haven't
God.
played with him in like a month anyway. And
Yep,
just
I'm
delete him.
taking them off, dude. Yeah, that. Oh my God,
I hardly got
that.
any Gears 1 achievements. I just played public. I never played ranked. I just go
Um,
in, do my
well,
damage,
I
and
mean,
fucking
like, yeah,
leave.
that was like the thing, because I mean, I played so much ranked. Obviously, I mean, well, it had to be ranked, right? For the seriously,
Yeah, for all
like,
those achievements,
Yeah.
we had to be ranked.
yeah. So I was obviously like me and Devin talking about going for that seriously
Unless it was
achievement.
Gears PC, they changed. I think they had a public achievement too for seriously. I'm pretty sure.
Mm,
Pretty sure the PC one had
yeah, the
different
PC one it
achievements.
was called Not So Serious. It was called Not
Yeah.
So Serious, and it was like getting 10,000 kills, but in casual matches or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to go for that, but obviously, you're not going to be able to play that game nowadays. Um, but oh my god, yeah, seriously, oh my god, the first seriously, like that one's going to be etched into my head for so long with just yeah, like you said, just wondering, is it going to pop now? Is it going to pop now? Is it going to pop now?
Hmm.
Just yeah,
And yeah, I think
but
I got mine around like 14,000 or something.
yeah. But hey, I mean, it's Gears. We play the
Mhm.
game, and we're gonna always go for it. But yeah, no, man, you're reminding me. I gotta continue doing work so I can get the next seriously achievement because I do have Gears 5 is well, I don't know. Unfortunately, do I? Yeah, I don't have the pop achievements, Gears Pop, and so I won't ever actually have every Gears seriously achievement, I guess. Which
I think
wait,
the
do you
only one
have
I
the
got was
seriously
Gears
pop?
2.
Do you have the
Yeah, I got
seriously
the
pop?
seriously pop. I got all the achievements in Gears Pop before they ended or they
Before they,
closed the.
I liked that game. I really did like that
Yeah,
game.
Gears 5 was kind of low-key
I thought
fun.
it was fun, but
I dominated at the beginning, but then like
yeah, it did.
they
Yeah,
nerfed my build, and then I was just like,
well, not only that, it did become kind of pay to win and everything too. If you weren't putting in a
yeah,
bunch of money to get like the best things all the time and everything, I mean, that's just mobile games for you. But
yeah.
what are you gonna do about it? It's a free to play game. They got to make their money somehow. I mean, I probably would have paid
Hmm.
$10 for
They
that if it
went
was
on.
just yeah.
Yeah, they were just making more money off Fall Guys, so they just went to focus on Fall Guys.
Yeah, yeah. Rest in peace, Gears
That
Pop.
free, their other free to play game was making more money, so they went on.
Yeah.
Dude, Fall Guys is fun, bro.
Yeah. Sure. Uh huh.
Yeah, I was
And with
excited. I
that,
wanted to play when it was there in the Final Fantasy 14 like update little event that they had.
I I don't enjoy Fall Guys, but that's me. I'm not. I don't know. That game's not for me. Anyways, all right. And with that, we're gonna start moving on to the topics. We got all that out of the way. Oh, actually, before I do want to give a shout out. I did put a little YouTube short up, but today what? It's December 17th, right? Am I remembering that correctly? Yeah.
Hmm.
It's Mega Man's birthday today. Yay! Woo! Only me. Fuck you guys. But
Yeah, Mario's
Mm-hmm.
better.
fuck you and fuck you. Mega Man will always be better, and
Are they
I
still
will
making
stand
new
on.
Mega Man games?
You know what, dude? Yeah, they made Mega Man X Dive offline. It came out this year for the mobile
Yeah, and
game.
then
It's a mobile
oh,
game.
what
Mobile.
Mario? What won or was nominated for Game of the Year? Got it.
Yeah, for Wonder.
That's
Yeah,
because the gaming masses
and
don't know
Mario
what's good.
RPG was good.
The
So
gaming media doesn't know shit. All right, the gaming media
Mario
doesn't know shit.
RPG and Mario Wonder came
Gaming
out this year.
media
Mega
don't
Man,
know shit.
Mighty Number 9. Mighty Number 9.
Mighty Number Nine's not a Mega Man game, and
not a
it
good
Same
game.
creator.
You're right.
Same
Not a
creator.
good game.
wasn't that bad. I don't know, man.
It was. Did you play it?
Yes, I didn't finish it, but I played it.
Obviously you didn't.
I backed it.
Back then, Kickstarter, bro.
What,
Then
into
they
the
should have gave me the
trash?
money instead.
I backed it. If anything, I'd be a harsher critic than someone like you who didn't who would like, oh, I just bought it or whatever. Like, no,
You backed it, so it downloaded to game share. So it was on. It's like in my library.
There we go. See, you didn't have to pay
I hate
for
it. I hate that it's there.
but I backed it. I would be a much harsher critic. And I thought the game was fine. It's not fucking the greatest thing ever.
For the amount of money that we put into it, it's fucking terrible.
I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Everyone needs to calm the fuck down with high expectations. It's the same. You sound like the people who think Starfield is bad. It's,
No,
You have
Starfield's
to-
an okay.
You sound like Ubisoft when they said when Baldur's Gate came out. Not all games are gonna be like that, guys. Okay, calm down.
oh, I don't know about that one.
Not
That's
every
a whole
game can
other-
be good.
Yeah, not every game can be
Not
good.
every. Oh my god. Anyways, happy birthday to Mega Man, the Blue Bomber, the greatest platforming series that nobody wants to admit because they're all brain dead. But let's get on with the show. So, first topic. I don't think you guys even gonna care too much about this. Free Radical last week got shut down. You know, Time Splitters. Anyone?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'd say
No,
like
I
those
nothing.
people
mean,
just made time spinners, right? The people that
Yeah.
ran off
yeah,
from Rare to make their own shit, and then just made time
yeah.
spinners in a crisis port.
I mean, well, yeah.
It.
So, yeah.
Oh
They
no.
they were. I think they got shut down some years back, but they came back because they were supposed to be doing like a new Time Splitters game, and now Embracer Group just shut them right back down. Like, obviously that game's not happening. But I mean, like when they had got shut down before Free Radical, most of them became it's called Dam Buster Studios, and they're the guys who did Homefront. Homefront: The Revolution, was that the second game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in Homefront, you could play like
The
I
full
think
time splitters,
one of
right?
the time splitters. Yeah, I don't know if it was all of them, but you could play at least one of
No,
them.
it's the full game though. Right?
Yeah, it was the full game, but I don't remember if it was all the time splitters or if it was just like one.
Mm. Not only that, but Dam Busters. I want to say they're the
Which is
guys
pretty
who
cool.
I want to say they're the guys who did the Dead Island 2 game. I thought I saw that when I looked up like the games that Dam Buster Studios. So I mean, like, obviously these guys make shooters. That's what they do. Time Splitters. Yeah, working on a Crisis port or something. All that, but yeah, Free Radical. Rest in peace again to that. But
Yeah, I mean it's always sad when a studio has to shut down, especially if they're
well,
Yeah,
making
because again,
something
it's the
that
same
like
thing. It's
you're
like
interested
yeah, a
in.
lot of people lost their jobs.
well, I mean,
Especially in this
because
hard.
Embracer Group has been like, they've been closing a lot of, not closing a lot of, but they've been closing studios and like firing a bunch of people, like Embracer Group. And I want to say it's because they had like some kind of deal in place like some months back that just fell through, and so because of that, this is all just like cost cutting measures. Free
Yeah, probably. I mean
Radicals.
that's what all corporations do.
Well, I mean
Yeah,
that's
what can they
like we talked
cost
about it last
to
week.
make more money?
Well, we talked about it last week with Bungie. That's why they fired 10% of their staff and everything and all that because they're like losing money. And yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
cost cutting measure. But Embracers, they're a publisher. They bought all those studios and game IP and everything, and it's just going to absolute waste. I don't know. They're the ones. I want to say Embracer owns like who's it? Who they were with Square Enix, and Square Enix sold them off. Crystal Dynamics. Crystal Dynamics. I want to say Embracer
The
owns them
Tomb Raider
now.
people.
The Tomb Raider people, and so and I think they might even whether it's having a stock in them or they might outright own them. The guys who did the Hitman games, who do the Hitman games, they like I want to say they are involved in that too. So like having cost cutting measures because they lost out on a deal that was supposed to be like worth millions. Yeah, I don't know. It's just Embracer Group has been kind of on a downward trend, and they just have their fingers in so many pies that what if we don't see another like Hitman game if I'm remembering correctly, and they do own that studio. Like it's just
And the last Hitman game was good too. I
I'm not a
mean, it
big
was
Hitman guy,
episodic.
so
I mean, it was good. It was good Hitman game.
yeah. It's just to think about like what's happening with with the consolidation, not consolidation, but with the way big companies are trying to own other studios and all this other stuff. And yeah, there are companies that are just losing money. Yeah, it is sad to see another studio just yeah gone. People losing out on jobs or losing their jobs. Yeah, but that's just as you said, they're gaming's still business. These companies are still businesses and everything.
Yeah. Always about the bottom line.
Mm. Let's move on to the next one. I guess another little story. The Spider-Man 2 update that was supposed to be planned for, I don't know. I'm assuming it was supposed to be this year. I know it got pushed
Yeah.
to
Yeah, it was
next
supposed
year.
they initially said like end of this year and then yeah, they pushed it to
So it's supposed to have like New Game Plus and like some other like quality of life
replay
stuff.
replay mission. Like so if you just want to replay a specific mission, changing I think it was certain like vent or something colors of something, but yeah, just other like little things like that. But yeah, mainly
Hmm.
like New Game Plus was the
That was like the big selling point.
yeah, New Game Plus and then like being able to just replay a mission. If you're like, I just want to fight Venom again or play as Venom, spoiler alert. If I just want to do that mission, you're just like, I just want to keep playing as Venom over and
Kind
over
of
and
hate that
over.
you have to say spoiler alert. The game's been out for a while.
I know.
If you
But
don't
I
know
mean, I
the
spoiled it
story,
prior.
yeah, I mean like if you don't know the story by now, it means you just didn't want to play the game. I like
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so if you just want to play as Venom, which I mean, it's fine. If like delay it, make sure it's fine. Make sure it doesn't like I don't know. Don't add New Game Plus and like fuck up people's saves because I'd rather you not release it and it be actually good.
I
So
mean, yeah, you're that's probably what they're worried about. I mean, when there's that like that Baldur's Gate 3 bug that's like destroying save files
yeah.
on the Xbox stuff. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're probably right. They probably were
So
like something like that, where it's yeah, it's causing some issues that we're like, yeah, we're not gonna put this out right now because bad PR with a game like Spider-Man.
mhm.
Probably not the way to go. um, but it is what it is. New Game Plus is always fun. I mean, I don't always play New Game Plus anyway, so this isn't that big of a deal to me. But
Yeah.
let me see. I'm trying to look at these, what we're gonna talk about, and I don't really know which one I want to go for next. This one seems like a smaller. Maybe we could talk about it a little longer than normal. But Mina Kato, formerly worked for PlayStation. Now she works for Xbox as an executive. She's been telling Japanese publishers, which makes sense. She works for Xbox, duh. Trying to get money into her into her boss's pockets and everything. She's telling Japanese publishers, PlayStation ain't the way to go. You want to expand your business, grow your business, go to Xbox. And I kind of obviously I'm more of an Xbox guy. That shouldn't be uh, a hidden fact. But I mean, if you look at some of the games that have been coming out recently, not recently, but like within the past 5-6 years that were not coming out on Xbox before, like the Yakuza games. Persona recently just started releasing again on Xbox. Like they're selling well. I mean, before Xbox started releasing Yakuza games, you guys obviously heard about it, but I mean, did you guys think they were as big as they are now?
They're pretty
Hey,
big.
hell, yeah, they're pretty big, but I mean, putting them on Game Pass and stuff is
I go get more audience to play it and try out the new titles. Like I think when me and Devin worked at GameStop, I think we sold a decent amount of Yakuza games. I think it's
yeah,
for like a certain crowd. Like if you played them and you're always gonna get the same people coming back. It's one of those like
yeah. It was never like you never got new, like I don't know, because Yakuza's they're pretty weird games. Like one second it's like you're kicking the shit out of somebody, and then the next second it's kind of like a dating sim, and you're just like, all right.
yeah, the game's
So
just so many.
yeah,
It's kind of like Persona because Persona has like a whole bunch of like there's the main game. There's so much shit you can do. Like in Persona 5, like going to school, getting a job, and this other shit. Yeah, some of the Yakuza just doing the missions. Or if you want to go do a fucking karaoke for the next 2 hours, go fucking
yeah,
play karaoke mini games,
Hmm.
dancing and shit. Even the new, I think one of the new ones has like it's like a turn-based one too.
I think
One of the
so.
the Yakuza games? Yeah, you're talking
Yeah,
about Like a
the latest
Dragon.
one.
Like a Dragon.
Yeah,
It's the because that one's supposed to be so okay. That one is supposed to be like a what's the word? Like a spin-off series now because there's So they're called. They were. I guess maybe they're still called Yakuza here, but in Japan they're called Like a Dragon. That's the name of the series. Just like how like Resident Evil's called Resident Evil here, but in Japan they're called Biohazard. But then 7, right? They
Yeah.
it was called Resident Evil Biohazard, or 7 Biohazard. So when I guess because now they're introducing it more American audience, or more of the American audience. Uh, I guess with that one they wanted to use uh, that title. But yeah, they were called Like a Dragon. But I'm assuming because the second one, what was it? What's the new one called? Is it just Like a Dragon Gaiden? The next one where there is a sequel to that one that came out, right? That's supposed to come out like next year or something. I'm forgetting time because there's like what 3 of them. Because there's that one, the man who erased his name. Then there's the one that's set like.
Oh yeah, one that like the trailers like showed like the guy fucking butt naked, Infinite Wealth.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the one. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth is the sequel to Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
And I guess now Like a Dragon, that one is going to be like the side series. But then there's that it's a Yakuza game that's like set in like feudal Japan or whatever it was. And then there's the man who erased his name. So that's a sequel to the original, or not the original, but the previous series of Yakuza games. So like they're really expanding this series out and everything. But I don't know. I think the reason that's happening is because when the Series X, came out and they were like, yeah, we're going to start having the Yakuza games. I think that's when it started gaining more popularity to the point where now, we have Infinite Wealth, the man who erased his name, and I think Gaiden is the one that's like set in like old Japan times or whatever. I think that's a direct result of them releasing on Xbox. They get more people buying and everything. These previously PlayStation practically exclusives. Well, no, not practically exclusives. They are exclusives, but it's not like PlayStation's bankrolling them or anything like that. So I don't know. To me, in my opinion, that's what it is. But hey, you guys were working at GameStop. Yeah, you guys did see stuff I didn't see.
Yeah. Like JJ said, there was like you just got on with these people, but like now you're giving away the game for free essentially. So I think you'll see more people like just try it because like I'll download this shit. I'll download like if it shows up on Game Pass and like people have played it and it's popular. Like I never really played Metal Gear, like even though I had PlayStation stuff. I'm like, it doesn't really look like it interests me. But when it came on Game Pass, I was like, yeah, I'll download it. I'm like, glad I never paid for this because I did not enjoy it. It's not
I
fun.
think that's a nice thing too, because a lot of people are doing a lot of shit like I don't want to pay, like $60,
But then you might
$70 for a
gain.
game not to like it.
But the thing is, then like if they play it and then like, the next one comes out, and if you're like, oh, I'm a really big fan of Metal Gear, like if it's not like a day one Game Pass, like let's say you're not a big Far Cry person or you've never played a Far Cry, then you play Far Cry 6, and you're like, oh shit, I really like this. That's not a day one Game Pass game, and then you're like, but you really want to play it. Far Cry 7 comes out, you gained a new person that might now like it. Probably not because Far Cry 6 is terrible, but
I'm like, if you play Assassin's Creed, same thing.
yeah.
I mean, if we play
Any Assassin's
Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, same thing.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, Far Cry 6 was just bad, though. Like, Far Cry 5 was good.
Creed.
Like,
I like that
but
concept for 5.
yeah, but 6 was terrible, and I was so excited for it. This is a tangent, just because Giancarlo Esposito was the main villain. I love him in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, so I was really excited. But then the
At
game
the same
came
time,
out.
it's like it's hard to like just put all your eggs in a basket with just getting an actor. Like, I'm not saying like
I
he's
know.
bad, but like
But,
it's just like the
dog,
Cyberpunk. It's like they put Keanu Reeves
have
in
a-
it, and then Idris Elba.
you had
I
a
bet that
chicken
should
that
be
would follow
made
you
fun of.
around, or a rooster that would follow you around and kill people, and yet the game's terrible. And you're like, this should be like this should have been an easy win, but it was not,
Hmm.
which was sad.
I don't know. I'm not a big Far Cry guy, so I think the last one I put any real time in was that. What was it called?
Blood Dragon.
Blood Dragon. Yeah, pretty sure it was just that one I put. I don't know, maybe a couple hours into. That's how much I don't care enough
Well, Blood
about.
Dragon was only an expansion, so you may have beaten it if it was like 7 hours.
No, I didn't. I definitely didn't beat
Oh.
it. I definitely didn't. I put a couple hours in. I don't know how far I got, like mission wise. Far
I
Cry
think I may
games are
have played
too.
this.
I like that
Apocalyptic.
twin one. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. What was it
I
called?
think we may have done co-op on that for a little bit.
That one
I
had
The
played
co-op
co-op?
on
that.
Far Cry games are fun, just because, like,
Wait, hold
the
on, hold
co-op
on.
team.
it's open world.
They have co-op in those games?
Yeah,
I
think since 4 they've had co-op.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
and I played 5 with my
I
buddy.
swear I didn't know that. That's how much I don't care about. I may have to start playing some Far Cry games and just play co-op.
Yeah.
I mean, you could play through the story, right? That's basically what it is.
Yeah,
I think you go
Co-op.
off
Just-
the whoever's hosting
Yeah.
story.
and then I think you get XP or I don't know.
Huh, interesting. That is actually extremely interesting. I swear I did not realize that they had co-op. But you know, you have co-op in a game. I'm gonna want to play it.
Hey, that could be another game you guys be playing or something like that during the podcast stuff.
I mean, yeah, you know, we try to not play something.
Yeah, because
that's
Far
fun
Cry 6 is on Game Pass.
It is on Game
I
Pass.
think
I played a little bit of Far Cry. It's such a I don't know. I really like Just Cause 3, but Just Cause 4 did not enjoy it. There's too much of that map. It's just there's just nothing to do, and these side quests feel like it's just like busy work. It's just like, oh, go here, kill some people, or go here and blow up some satellites. Like that's the issue in Far Cry 6. Like there's not enough like substance, and then like there's so much of go here, blow up the satellite, regain this area and this territory and stuff, and the map's just giant, and it's just like, can I just like I want to do something that's like part of the story, but I have to like liberate like 6 fucking areas to get to the next story part. But it's just like, why? Like, I just want to, like, I don't know. Like the missions they didn't seem important to progress the story, but they were, and
Yeah.
nothing seemed like it was pertained to the story, even though it did. But it was just like all busy work.
I get
Just
you.
annoying.
I mean, that's kind of what they've become now, right? The Far Cry games.
Yeah,
That's what,
so I'm
that's what everyone
hoping-
seems to say.
But I'm hoping they might cut down on the bloat because Assassin's Creed, the newest one, they cut down on the bloat and it got pretty well received. Not a perfect game, but I'm looking forward to playing that one eventually. So I'm looking forward to playing that one just because like it's kind of more of the old school Assassin's Creed, which
Yeah.
is more about sneaking around and being an assassin rather than just like a brawler.
See, that's the
Because
thing
that's
too.
what like Valhalla had turned into.
I'm not into
Yeah,
those.
I think
I'm not into
like,
those
I wanted,
games.
Like, I think that was one of the games I bought. Like I wanted to like Valhalla, but yeah, it's just kind of just go
Same
and
here. Like I mean, I'm a Vikings fan, so I really wanted to like a game about Vikings. But
That's another
Yeah,
thing. I'm
just
not into
didn't
the
hook me.
Assassin's Creed games. Like I've tried to play. I beat the first Assassin's Creed game. I played, I think, part of part 2. I haven't played 3 at all. And I played like, what was that one where it was like set, or not set in London, but it was like a co-op-ish game. It was like we're like,
Unity.
oh yeah, Unity. I played part of that, and I'm just like,
that one,
these games are not.
well,
fun.
Unity was a piece of shit when it launched.
I just don't think. See, that's the thing. I liked the Assassin's Creed games that were basically not Assassin's Creed. Valhalla was a very.
Well, the thing is,
enjoyed
I
that game.
liked Odyssey. I liked Odyssey and Origins, but Valhalla, was way too overbloated.
Yeah, there
It was
was.
way
Yeah, there was a
there was
lot.
way too much to. I think that's the thing is like we got to get out of this. Like game developers need to get out of this idea that ton of missions is good. Like they need to be valuable missions too. Like if it's not a valuable thing for me to do, like I don't want to do it. I'd rather a game be a tight 15 hours than a bloated fucking 60.
Exactly.
Like it's yeah. I don't want to have to do a shit ton of busy work, level up. I'd rather have a tight 15-hour game.
I get you.
So we'll see.
It's like if the guy was at the one of the CEOs of like was Rockstar saying like, yeah, games should be priced as how long they are. But I'm like, games could be 150 hours of total dog shit compared to like Spider-Man 2. It was good. It was only like what 30 hour at most
Yeah, and like
campaign or
that's
something. It's still
subjective.
good.
Like, well, it's like what you're gonna like charge me. That gets into a very murky territory because, like, with Grand Theft Auto, you have people like me who have played. I haven't beaten the Grand Theft Auto. I never beat Grand Theft Auto 5. I think I got really close
I was
when it
actually
came out
really
on
close too.
360.
Then online came out. I'm like, yep, I would see it.
Yeah, so I got really close on 360 to beating the game. But then it's like it's subjective because there's people that have put like hundreds of days into that game. So am I paying the same price as those guys, or are you charging us as like on a per minute thing? And
Oh
it's like same
yeah,
with
because
Gears of
it's
War.
like
It's same
yeah.
as like Gears of War. Like I know it's on Game Pass, but it's a game I've put hundreds of it just for the campaign. Like played it for the 15-hour campaign. Should they have to pay the same price as a person like me that potentially because they could be like, well, our top players play this game 500 hours or whatever. Like that's like what our top players. So we're gonna price this game at $100. And it's like people are like, I don't want to pay that much. Like Grand Theft Auto is like $120. Someone who's just like, well, I just want to play GTA casually. Like I only have like 1 day a week to play it. I'm not gonna pay $120 this. Like fuck that. Like you guys have your shark cards. You're making up plenty of money on that. You can't charge just because something could have more hours in it, or you're gonna like have
It could
cards
be one of
where
those things where they could just do like want the both. Or let's say let me just throw a number like $150 for both the game, right? Because I think there's some rumors saying like it's gonna be like $150 for
if it's
GTA
150
6.
bucks, like fuck that. Like
No,
I'm not buying that shit.
it's like maybe it's like
Unless
if
it's
you only want
Gears.
to play campaign, like $60. Online, like 70 for its own like sting or whatever, or
Yeah.
like
I
different
mean,
prices for that shit.
I mean the thing is because I don't the way gaming has become nowadays, like whether companies obviously want to make money.
Sorry.
Like companies obviously want to make money. That's just there's no what's the word like not a nice way, but like that's just how it is and what is going on here. This game is lagging up. Like companies want to make money, and for years, like games were just
Everyone
sixty
wants to
dollars.
man, though.
But for years, games were just $60, $60, $60, $60. Games are not cheap to make, especially when you start getting into
Yeah,
certain
but it's
games.
also like boo hoo, Rockstar. Your game, you look on the charts, I don't think Grand Theft Auto has come off the top selling charts since it came out. That game is still selling new. You guys are selling shark cards, fucking hand over fist. You're basically printing money. You don't have a subscription model to your online service, but you basically do. You
Yeah, they
and
do.
WoW.
No,
I
they
think
do
they
have a
do. They
subscription.
have a
They do.
membership,
Oh, they do
monthly
it?
They do.
membership.
Yes, they do.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you get
well,
like
but not, it's not required though. I'm saying like a
It's not required.
required.
Yeah,
But you don't have a monthly, but you have people like buying your shark cards. You have an optional monthly subscription service. Like I don't feel bad for you. Sure, maybe these indie developers who need to charge like $40 instead of $30 for a game to like make money. Sure, they should be talking about this. But the Grand Theft Auto developer talking about how they need to make more money, it's like, dude, no,
they're
you
gonna
don't need to
they're
make more
gonna
money.
for sure make a no like
they're
Oh,
billion
gonna
what?
again
Jeff
like in a
Bezos is
billions.
day.
gonna come out and be like, dude, guys, I need more money for my second rocket. Like, I'm not gonna feel bad for the Rockstar developers who are saying they need to charge more per like hour played in the game. Like you guys have introduced microtransactions into your game for your whales. For the people that are playing your game more, those whales are putting more money into your ecosystem. You can't punish more casual people that have 1 to 2 days a week that have families and don't have a ton of time to play games. You can't punish them and make them pay $150 for your game. Like you just can't do that. I mean, you can, but you're gonna get a ton of people pissed.
I mean, well, yeah. Especially like when a game has like a, you know what? Actually, we're gonna get right into the next topic because it kind of flows nicely because I was about to talk about how games do everything they can to make money, which is like even having a game that has like a live service element. So actually, let me introduce the next topic so we could keep this going. Uh, Naughty Dog announced that they canceled Last of Us Online. I guess it was called. I didn't even realize that. I thought it was just going to be called Last of Us Factions. Um, they just apparently they didn't have the resources to do it. They have like a 400-person studio, but that was too much to handle. Um,
I
but yeah,
think that's PR speak for realizing either A, that they knew that the live service stuff wasn't going to work, or B, it wasn't working. Like whatever they were doing, like wasn't planning or wasn't coming along the way they wanted it to. So I think they just PR speaked it.
isn't because yeah, games like we're talking about companies wanting to make more money and everything and saying how they need more money and games to be priced like that has been a big thing. And yeah, they were going to do that with The Last of Us, turn it into, or not turn it into, but make a live service element. That's been a big thing is companies, I mean, that was something that Sony was trying to do, PlayStation. That's why they apparently had hired Bungie. They wanted to make more live service games, but that with this seems like with the cancellation of The Last of Us online, this seems like they're now officially like, yeah, we're not doing that because there had been talks of them just like not doing the live service element or live service games anymore and everything. And I mean, it's probably not helping. The Bungie's probably not helping that whole thing with not making money and everything. But this seems to be like the last nail in the coffin of like Sony being like, yeah, we're just probably done with that.
Yeah, I think they're just seeing all the negative. Like, I don't know. I feel like the live service games that people want exist now, and it's going to be hard for another one to break into the market. Like, you have your live service games that are out right now. Those are the ones people want, and it's going to be hard to, like, because, like, you had, like, WoW and you had, like, the MMOs, and people have tried to make MMOs. I mean, like, well, back in the day, like, well-known IPs, you had, like, DC who tried to make one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but those games
it's just like,
they're still kicking. They're just yeah.
games.
Yeah, I think that's why they had Call of Duty, but they do that.
I mean, no, PlayStation's still gonna keep getting Call of Duty. I really don't see that
I
ever
mean, like they were
going away.
like they had that like deal with Sony, for a bit. They try to get like those little extra little goodies. Like
Oh yeah.
Xbox did with like getting the DLC. Well, back then was get the first map pack. That sucked though. Was the good thing was back in the day was when the map packs actually were a thing. Was Xbox would get it for first. That's double XP. But Sony would also get just the double XP weekend for that. And then next month, Sony gets the map pack. And then we get another double XP. It's just fucking dope as shit. Because I got to level up my shit to get, again, when the game's only gets 10 prestige or whatever, 15. whatever Call of Duty you're talking about. Yeah, I like that shit.
I mean, service games right now. Like you have Fortnite, you have Overwatch. Well, I mean, Overwatch is kind of on a downward trend as well. You have Call of Duty again, downward trend.
Destiny, super downward trend.
So I mean, I guess I see where, yeah, like the live service is just the elements of live service have just started to become maybe a detriment to
And then,
things.
well, then and you see all the like, and then I think they've seen all the negative feedback they've gotten when you see with the Suicide Squad game. Everyone's like, no, this is not the Suicide Squad game I want. Like, no live service stuff. Like,
But see,
why are these
a
certain
game like
characters
Suicide
using?
Squad that doesn't make sense, especially from Rocksteady. Like they're supposed to be making these like single player games that you know are fun to play and with great combat and yada yada yada. They're not supposed to make basically Destiny, but with super or well metahuman characters, superheroes, whatever you want to call it. That a game like The Last of Us online, like that makes sense because the first Last of Us had the factions gameplay or multiplayer mode. So like that to me that makes sense. But I guess I see where you don't want to devote resources to something that if you don't keep at it, you're just not gonna make enough money. And like we said earlier, yeah, there's still companies that want to make money. It's about the bottom dollar. But I mean, I don't really care. I don't about this. This is just something I wanted to talk about anyway. But I don't really care because I'm not a big Last of Us player anyway. I think I played one match of that Last of Us factions multiplayer mode in the first game.
Yeah, I didn't
And
play any of it. Played. I
I played the
just
first
played the single
multiplayer
players.
for a bit.
I don't know I'm not a big fan of The Last of Us as it is. I don't think they're as great as everyone makes them out to be. But I mean, if I want to play a multiplayer mode or multiplayer, there's plenty of other games for me to play besides that. So I was just that it's just something I want to talk about. And like I said, it did kind of does kind of coincide with what we were talking about with like companies just maybe overcharging or charging, thinking charging too much for something or whatever it is you want to say. Just them wanting to make money and like, hey, maybe don't charge that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. But let me see what else are we gonna talk about here. Oh, I guess this will be maybe another small one for. I think we got like three big things for us to talk about. Um, the I don't remember his name, but there was an interview that apparently Bethesda, when it comes to the Blade game, Bethesda has the final say with if it's exclusive or not. So I know like last week, or yeah, last week and everything, or just at least the days after the Game Awards, there was like a lot of just talk about is this exclusive, the Blade game, is it exclusive or not? And I mean, it's still not really clear because they're just saying yeah, they're the ones
I never got this
who
before.
decide.
Anything.
Oh, you picked up something in the game, huh?
I got a ray gun. I was like, oh shit,
Oh,
was not
there you
expecting
go.
that.
There you go, man. Now you're where I am. I got the ray gun. I don't use it though.
Well, the thing is,
Um.
it's gonna go away after we leave.
Oh, never mind then. I have the
Yeah, I don't get.
I have the blueprint.
No, besides, it's gonna go away in 5 minutes. That's good.
Oh. Um. So
Okay, go.
yeah, I mean they didn't put out the Xbox YouTube channel did put out the trailer. It's still not on the PlayStation account, YouTube or whatever. So I don't know. Just something to put out there. I don't even know if you guys are even that interested in talking about this that much. The whole Blade. Oh, is it exclusive?
Yeah,
Is
it's just like it's so far away. Like I
I was
just
saying
don't know
like if
why
it's
like
far, I don't
people
give
are
a
worrying
shit.
about it. You know, like if it's like I don't really care if it's exclusive or not. Just make a good game.
yeah. I mean,
Don't
yeah.
don't fuck it up.
Like Wolverine was announced so like a year, 2 years ago. So I
I
haven't
think
heard any
it
two
more.
was
years, 2 years.
or 2 years ago at the Game Awards. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, right. They showed off Spider-Man 2, then
Yeah,
I want to say it was
showed
2 years ago.
they showed
yeah,
Wolverine.
and like that. What maybe's coming out in 2024? Maybe because they don't want to commit, which I get, and it's nice not to say like it's coming out, but don't announce it so fucking early. Because now I just want to play a Wolverine game because not many people played that X-Men Origins Wolverine game. The game was actually really fucking good. It was an
Oh no,
awesome
that
Wolverine
was a good
game.
game. That was a good game.
I know, but not a lot of
And
people played it because the game was actually better than the movie. The game was awesome. Like Wolverine would actually, like when he would get attacked, like chunks of flesh would fall off of him, and then as you healed, because you just auto healed, because that's what Wolverine does, the chunks of flesh would just come back on. So if the
I do wonder how they're gonna handle that because yeah,
they've already said
Wolverine's
it's going to be
from
M, so we
yeah,
shall
it needs to
see.
be it doesn't need to be violent too.
I'm like, imagine a Wolverine game not being in it.
Like
They're gonna make a good game like
X-Men
that.
like arcade game where you're just like slashing at people, but there's no like blood.
I guess that, but that's just
I know, but yeah, like it needs to be like because that's the best Wolverine game. If it's not better than that game, like they just need to quit and start over.
yeah.
Mm. All right, let's see. Next topic. Next topic. Let's talk about this one. Let's talk about Twitch. And Devin, but so was it Wednesday? So on Wednesday, okay, let's start from the beginning. So recently, there's been this trend. I guess you could call it. It's trend, yeah,
Devin,
because
look.
it's
Devin, look.
uh,
Is that
where
Wonka? Is that
women.
Wonka?
Oh, this guy's got the. That's funny. So there's been
Imagine
this trend.
paying money for Timothy Chalamet.
I mean, that sounds like what everyone would want to do, but that's a whole other thing. So, like I was saying, there's been a trend lately in this current form of Twitch meta, whatever you want to call it, where women are. It's called topless streaming, and women are like it's like the camera's just cutting off right where you would see full titties. Um, I know there was I don't remember her name. Something it was like Strawberry. There was another one, but the main one that this has really gotten attention with was a streamer named Mordpie. She's obviously one of those creators, uh, and so obviously this has gotten policies to allow what they deemed artistic nudity. I guess this was so that that way streamers like her could do this, but this is the internet. You can't do that. You can't give them an inch because they will take a million miles.
Yeah,
Right?
they always
Yeah.
test the waters at Twitch because it's just a bunch of
basically he's just drawing out titties like a naked. There was this streamer that was one of those like like those AI like cartoon people.
VTubers.
Oh, that's a good one. V2, yeah, I don't know. I'm old. But she was straight naked Twitch streaming. So you just see this anime titties, out there. And so clearly Twitch in their infinite wisdom were like, "Oh, we didn't think about this. That the internet, is kind of a horny ass fucking place." 2 days later, they said, no. We're not doing that. They reverted back to what their policies were before. So yeah, for a whole 2 days, you could show quote unquote artistic nudity, and then now you can't. And I just think it's hilarious because, I mean, come on. Like, what did they think was going to happen once they said, yeah, no, if it's tastefully done, you can do it. JJ, yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts? I know, like I said, you're more up on this than like Devin.
I don't know. It's kind of Twitch reverting it back, or just the whole situation.
I mean, to the whole situation. Reverting it back is probably the funniest part to me, but just the whole situation.
Like I said, they always try to push the limits, just like how Amaranth always started with the hot tip streams, and then all that started going off. Because you can get away with, as long as you dress appropriately of what you're doing, then that's fine. And what are you going to be? Be a bathing suit, right? In the hot tub. So of course, you're going to do that. A lot of views. That's just like really pushing it on that one. I think when I was checking the stream still, like I still see people, I guess still streaming with like just throwing out their top of their tits or something like that, or like, in bikinis.
Well,
Whatever, cosplaying or whatever,
I
and
know
like
more.
I think the typical like mirrors in the back or whatever, so they can like, reflect back to see their ass, stuff like that. I know
Morg Pie. She did an interview during this whole thing, and she shows she was wearing like a tube top, so she's not actually topless, but she had the camera position to look like, oh, at any point you might see titties or whatever. So I mean,
so again, they're supposed to be 13 anyway, so there's kids on the website, and you're just promoting OnlyFans on porn stuff on that website.
I mean, if OnlyFans was smart, they would. Oh well, I mean, OnlyFans kind of. They don't even try.
I think you can stream stuff on OnlyFans anyway.
Yeah, but OnlyFans tries to like, they don't acknowledge like the porn. Like
that's all it is. Well, yeah, they try to revert it where they try to remove that stuff, and then they like reversed it back like a couple weeks later, or some shit. Because then a lot of people are gonna leave.
Well, I mean, like if you follow OnlyFans on like Twitter and everything, they never Twitter allows obviously like tits and everything to be shown, but they never like promote any fucking like porn creators or anything. So they, even OnlyFans itself tries to distance itself from that.
I don't doubt that.
So I was gonna say, if OnlyFans was smart, they would try and lean into like, hey, if you're a titty streamer, go ahead and stream on your gaming on here. But I don't know. Devin, I don't know if you have any words on this.
I just feel like just companies in general just don't realize I don't know if it's just a bunch of just old dudes just in a boardroom that don't understand like what the internet is and what they're gonna do. Like if you put out like something that's like people can take advantage of or people can make fun of, like the internet's gonna win. It's just gonna happen every time, or they'll take advantage of what you have done. Like, I don't know. It's just like you just see like companies do stuff and then just get ridiculed for it online. Like if anybody changes a policy or if people put out a bad video game or whatever it is, like the internet is gonna ridicule you or find a way to exploit it. Like there will be a way.
Yeah.
So people just need to do more. Like just there's maybe one guy in like the boardroom just be like, hey yo, like if we do this, like everybody's gonna be showing tits. Like people are just gonna go probably stream porn on Pornhub. Like that's probably what's gonna happen. Like just FYI, if we do this, that's what's gonna happen. These are the people. There needs to be more people looking at the unintended consequences of this, not the 5 or 10 people that like actually draw like nice art, and like there happens to be like a tasteful boob or penis in there. Like no, you're just gonna get the fucking degenerates, the lowest common denominator, like making your platform the worst. Like that's gonna happen. There needs to be more people looking at unintended consequences. That's what I feel like the main issue is.
You might be right on that one. I don't know.
Like with sports, like if we change a rule, what's gonna happen because of this? Because there's gonna be a way to exploit it. Like eventually a team is gonna exploit a rule change. What's the unintended consequence of this? So you gotta always.
I think
look at
that's
the
what a lot of
unintended
shit
consequence.
should be. Like, yeah, like, sports, gaming, stuff like that. Like, if you're gonna try to make something like, instead of like, oh, this is how it's gonna be like
If we
fun,
nerf,
like, yeah, it's gonna be fun, but like, what are the consequences? How can you abuse the shit out of this fucking rule? Like, it'll make it not fun for everybody else.
Mhm.
And it's a good point. I think I was watching or I heard it from like Asmongold like a while ago talk about it. He's like, you always gotta, like I said, have that one dude that would be like, but you could do this to completely like abuse the shit out of whatever like thing you're trying to do. Like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, back to the drawing board.
Hmm.
Try to figure it
Yep.
out, or find ways to just not make it that way. But
Yeah. So
it
basically,
benefits that
maybe on the board of directors of a decision, you need to have just a fucking bunch of degenerates that just be like, oh yeah, that logo looks like a penis. Like, don't do that one. Like, just
That
just a
logo
bunch of
looks like
degenerates.
a giraffe getting head. The Resident Evil 6.
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. That's
Let's see. All right, we got two more things right here. You know what? I think I'll save. Okay, I know what we'll talk about next. So let's talk about the day before. Oh yes, let's talk about the day before.
The day
So,
that never was.
oh my god, this one is a hilarious one. Uh, so if anyone listening hasn't heard of the day before, I want to know where you were and what rock you were hiding under, or at least this situation. The day before, what announced? It was like 2 or 3 years ago, or something, right? It,
a while ago. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like they announced like a somewhat like a weird E3.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
announced as this MMO survival zombie game.
MMO Last of Us, essentially.
Basically. Well, which was funny too because like the font and like the way like the pictures for like its promotional
Yeah.
material made it kind of look like it was like some kind of spin-off to The Last of Us.
Mhm.
So there's that. Anyway, yeah, the game gets announced, people are wondering what's wrong with this game, why does it look weird, why are we not hearing much, all this stuff. Everyone thinks it's a scam. Of course, they're the developers, they're like, no, it's not a scam. We swear. So, anyways, they release it. Like last, almost a couple weeks ago, like on it was Thursday or something like that, right?
Sweet.
Yeah. Game comes out. It's getting bad reviews. It's apparently just I didn't play it. I'm not a PC guy. It's broken. It's not fun, and it's not what they said it was, which is
Yeah, you would see like one enemy. There was no stealth like they showed in trailers. Like it was just enemy. If you saw an enemy, then it would just run at you. Like there was no stealth. Like
well, they said it was an
people
MMO
were.
they said it was an MMO and it was an extraction shooter. So basically, what we're playing
Yeah.
here, this. It's
Well,
just
yeah, there are so many things that they bought assets for in the Unreal Engine and just made it look like there was a video game that wasn't actually in the video game. But those were just
yeah.
purchase assets in the
So
Unreal Engine.
so they released the game. Not great, not well received, obviously, to say the least. 4 days later, was it fantastic? Fantastic. It's fantastic.
I think it's just supposed to be fantastic, but
Yeah,
they didn't
fantastic.
afford. They just
There's nothing fantastic about that.
So yeah, they announced they're closing down. The studio's shutting down. They're gonna be done. They're done. 4 days. 4 days after they released the game, and then I think 2 days after that, Steam is like, "Oh yeah, we're not selling this shit anymore." It gets pulled off, and not only that, but like other games that the studio put out, if you look now, it doesn't say Fantastic made the game. It says a studio named 8 Points created the game. So there's just all this shit surrounding all the studio and this game the day before that like everyone is like this had to have been a scam because I mean you released this game and like you had said earlier they just purchased a lot like all these assets in the Unreal Engine and just seemed like they slapped together a game and then they just are like yeah we're done we're out just so much craziness around this that if this was a scam they were I mean like the prevailing theory on the internet this is terrible this is not like they did a bad job at scamming people but I mean just yeah this is just
Because the last game they made were like stupid, dumb little games, dude. Prop Hunt, bullshit, like little like arcade games, essentially, like equivalent to like Xbox games. So
that's
$20
what people
games.
were doing. That's what people were doing like on the Wii days. Like there's so much fucking shovelware shit on the Wii that like this is a phone game. Like this is a phone game, and you'd have people like paying like $20-$30 for it because you got grandparents coming in, being like, "Oh, this looks cool."
Yeah, like fucking Angry Birds. Dr. Fizzwizzle, dude.
Or even like there was like Chicken Shoot, and it's just like $30 for this Chicken Shoot game. You have grandparents coming in and be like, "Oh, only a $20 game for this Chicken Shoot," and they just buy it, and it's just like there's just all this shovelware dog shit, like Clubhouse games, or all those like mini game compilation things. People saw like, "Oh, we play sold a shit ton," and then people would come in and be like, "Oh, this is a great family game." And it's just like just like fucking flash games, and it's just like people paying $20-$30 for. Those games are just fucking scams. There were so many Wii games like that. It was ridiculous. But I mean, this is on a way bigger scale where they did that. But
Well,
like those are scam games.
the thing that makes this even funnier to me is that like on Twitter they're doing their whole like yeah we're sorry that this happened yada 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 but they responded to someone on Twitter who was just like like what the fuck are you talking about basically like how could this happen how does a fuck up this big happen and their response was I shit you not we are a small studio or something like that like this was a big project shit happens like to just they did right there you should see like wow this was just never gonna be the next big game or never gonna be what people who were looking forward to this game because at one point this game was like what the most wish list game on Steam or whatever it was obviously not gonna be
most wishes for
Yeah.
a long time.
this game was clearly never gonna be what they were saying or good or anything and to just be like yeah shit happens is just absolutely
It's
wild
better
for me.
than the Gollum developers that used Chat GPT to come up with their apology.
what was theirs?
It was just like forget what the clue was in there, but like clearly was written by like AI, and people found that out, and they're just like, "So you guys like phoned in the game and your apology of like how this isn't up to snuff." So that was funny.
Hmm.
So I guess I'd rather have a developer say shit happens than like just like, "Hey, Chat GPT, write an apology that says our game sucks. Sorry."
I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah.
But I wasn't paying it. I thought that column game looked like shit from the get go. I was never excited for it.
Well,
Yeah, straight
yeah.
up PS2 game, dude. I don't know
I
what the
know. Well,
fuck.
like I just don't
I think
know
people were
why
saying like,
they
dude, there's
changed
so many
all.
fucking people, so many people like you could think stories of for the Lord of the Rings franchise shit. But like, you know what?
Well,
The tweaker
Gollum's
looking fuck.
Gollum's fine, but like
Who wants
I
to
don't know
play as
why they
Gollum?
changed his character.
No, nobody the
But like
fucking no
I
bitch
don't know
wants
why
to play
they
as
changed his
Gollum, dude. Like
character
Legolas
design
or
so
something.
much. Like why they change his character so much? Like he just looks so weird.
I mean, they were
It's
obviously trying to do their own like
Oh, you
interpretation
think?
or whatever you want to call it. Like they're
hey,
obviously.
something works. Something works.
I mean, you're not
Yeah,
wrong.
but make it close.
Like
Yeah,
the
But
the
everyone
other Lord
else,
of the Rings game, like that building one. It's like Minecraft, but like fucking dwarves.
I don't remember that
Fun.
game.
Yeah, like I can give like a 4. Like there's not really nothing in it.
I
Besides just
don't remember. I don't even.
all I
That was
know
a
is the
thing.
Metal
that's
Earth
another
ones.
game nobody fucking
Like
asked for.
recently,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
recently.
You know that? That was another game
I,
where like, who the fuck cares about being fucking Gimli? Like, I don't give a shit.
I don't even remember that. I don't.
Like, you're like building shit underground. You make like your own little like fucking, dwarves always build
I'm
shit underground,
gonna.
have their little
I'm
fucking
gonna have to
bases.
look up that what you're talking about because yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. That's yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, the day before, it's just for me, it's just wild that they add this game's announced, goes silent, that comes out, and then the studio's just like peace. They
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
and
just
then even more
they
scummy.
needed
They just
cash.
change your fucking name. They always do that shit. They always make little games, sell it to another company. They'll be in, and they're like, kind of like, it's their fucking problem now. See ya.
Yeah, that's also kind of the problem now. That's the nice thing with like Xbox and PlayStation games is there is a little more like quality control that you have to get on the marketplace. It's kind of like the deal with like Apple versus Android. Android, you can get a lot of just fucking shovelware dog shit on that platform. There's not very much like quality control. But Apple, there's a lot more that you have to go through to get your game on like, your marketplace and stuff. So PC, that's like you can sneak your shady dog shit out on PC a lot easier.
yeah. I mean, no, yeah. Steam has
Yeah,
a
like
lot
Steam
of
is
that.
like
Like,
this.
yeah, it's a lot of
But I
like
think
yeah,
nice thing though, Steam has it
shovelware.
where if you play the game less than 2 hours, you can just return it.
I think with this
Yeah.
one, they said it doesn't matter how long you played it; they're just giving you
Yeah, they're
your
full on,
refund.
full refund.
They they saw they saw what it was. It was like they're like, no, this was just not a real thing. We're just gonna have to give all the money back. So yeah, even like I said, even if it was, if
And
this
they had
really
people
was a
like
scam,
try to
it was a
develop the game
bad
for
scam.
them or whatever. That they can like, hey guys, can you come and help us make the game? We'll give you a copy of the game. Free. Like, damn.
I don't know, but yeah, to me, this was just for something like, especially too for like a studio that was just like, who the fuck is fantastic, and this being one of the most wildest fucking stories in fucking gaming recently. I mean, you just don't see shit
Mm-hmm.
like that. Where it's like, oh yeah, we're making a game. 'Cause, I mean, they didn't. It's not like they asked for. As far as I know, they didn't ask for like money, like on a
I don't
Kickstarter
They
or
think
didn't do
so.
a
anything.
I don't,
Kickstarter. No.
yeah.
So it
They
was
just got
just.
money from like whatever, like to just make the game. That's it.
I know there was a Kickstarter game or something like that. I don't remember the name of the chick. There was a chick that was like making a game. She got a bunch of money for it, and like there hasn't been an update in like 3, 4 years or something on what's like even happening with that game. I don't remember. I only know she was part of that whole when Gamergate was happening. Part of that, all that like Anita Sarkeesian kind of club with those people. I don't remember the chick that's developing this game or the game. So, you know, as far as I know, that's like the only other time I've heard of where there was like a quote unquote scam happening.
It's Kickstarter. A lot of shit had to be scams. Look by my shit.
Getting my number
Never
9.
see shit.
Haha, fuck you. Maybe Red Ash when he was trying to get money for Red Ash. Oh man, I fucking hate you, Devin. I hate you. All right. I don't know. Yeah. All right. So last thing to talk about. This one obviously is more pertaining to our interests, like fully. I don't know if you guys know who Jeff Grubb is. He's a like an industry insider. I think he's on like Giant Bomb and stuff like that. Works in the industry, but he has his own podcast at the very least. But on his podcast, he said that the next Xbox is gonna be releasing in 2026. Now he doesn't know if that's like an Xbox Series X Pro or the next generation of Xbox. And I don't know if my money was.
Yeah, I feel like if it is a new Xbox, it's probably just a Pro version. Bro.
I would. Yeah, that's what I was.
Well,
my money would be on
that new PS5 Pro, whatever. So like.
Yeah. If they're. Yeah. This.
Because there's that leak of that Xbox a little while ago that was like not even it wasn't a box anymore. It was like that half circle.
Oh, the cylindrical
that
one?
got linked. Yeah, it was
that
like
one,
a half. No, I think it looked
that
like a
one
half
was,
circle.
but that one was supposed to be like a discless version of the console.
Yeah, so I'm like, is that the leak, or is that just?
Yeah.
Is that what he's talking about, or he's talking about a new one?
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, he obviously, I don't think he really knows because he doesn't know if it's like a Pro or like the next generation, Series X2 or whatever. And like I said, for my money, I wouldn't think they're starting the next generation of consoles this soon. Because the consoles came out in 2021, right? Or 2020?
2020 at time.
2020.
No.
No.
2020. Or 2019.
2019.
2019? Oh my god.
Yeah, came out right before the pandemic.
Yeah, because I got mine. I got my Xbox One Series X during the pandemic on my birthday.
Wow, I am really.
And I got mine like December 2019.
Time really just goes by. I really thought the consoles were only out for a couple years or something. Jesus Christ. Okay, well maybe in 2026.
Yeah, they were.
In 2020, I know, right? Well, 2026. I mean, that's still like a 7-year. If they came out in 2019, it's like a 7-year cycle.
Yeah, but the thing is, and that's just, I don't know, and it's hard to like. You could even say like, I don't know, the Xbox Series X is kind of just like, because there's like you can still play games like this game. You can still like Call of Duty. You can still play on the Xbox One. You can play all this shit still on the Xbox One. All these you could look at technically next gen, like or just like pro versions of the previous console because that just allows you to play games at faster frame rates and stuff. So as long as the games are being made for previous consoles, it doesn't really matter like what if you call it the next generation or not. I guess it just goes by specs and stuff, but
I mean, like the thing is too, I don't know, for me, I think you just kind of, where can you go from here on out? I know that you can play games at higher frame rates. They might do more, like the HDR will look.
It's just more. It's just more like developers hopefully be able to more consistently, like like if a developer can't hit 4K 60 frames per second, like they're just a bad developer. Because this thing is so powerful, like you should always be able to hit 4K 60 frames. Like the next console, like I feel like you have to be able to hit 4K 60 frames with like every game.
But
It just
then,
doesn't make sense that games can't because Gears came out and then they patched it and that multiplayer can run at 120. Like how I just don't understand how games come out and they're like we can only run at 30 frames per second.
but I'm
Figure it out.
you're you're talking about like Gears being like, yeah, they have the multiplayer 120, but the thing is, Gears isn't going to render as much as something like Starfield. That's a good example. Starfield plays at 30 frames per second, but look at that type the game, open world, like exploration, like all these planets. You know, I, to you're saying like games need to consistently hit 4K 60, but not every game is the same. It's
When you think
easier.
of loadings and shit, you go load into zones and shit. That's it. Same
Yeah.
that's what Starfield really is. You just go to a planet, you just get a section of the zone where you land on a
Yeah, it's
planet.
not like there's
Until
not
it tells you
loading
to go
screens.
back.
It's not like it has to render everything. And you can hide loading screens. Developers have been doing that shit for years. Elder Scrolls on the Xbox used to fucking restart and then turn back, like it would restart your console behind the scenes because it needed to do that. Like developers can find ways and they just need to like figure it out. Like just figure it out. And the
Well,
developers
Yeah.
would just fucking figure
okay,
it
so
out.
like, you think it's gonna so if GTA 6 is 30 frames, you think that's a failure for the game?
Yeah.
For which one?
Really?
For
GTA
Starfield?
6, the next GTA game.
GTA 6? Yeah.
Yeah,
You're gonna charge me
GTA
150
6.
bucks. If you're gonna give me 150 bucks, 10 years to me to wait and shit like that, you better pray to fucking God it does that shit and licks my ass.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just for me
like
to play
that
the
trailer
campaign
came
and get
out.
shit on by a fucking 12-year-old that just fucking gets money
trailer
for
came
it.
Even
out.
even if they're just like, you know what, we can only run it at fucking 1080p. 1080p 60 frames per second. I will die on this hill. It looks better than 4K 30 frames. Like that's just it just looks better. It's smoother. Like your character just runs and it looks smoother and everything just looks smoother. So it's just like, yeah, we can't get it to run at 4K. So you have your performance and you have your quality mode. Like, fine. Don't lock me. I don't like how Starfield locked us into not having the option. If you can't do both, make it so I can then choose what I want.
Hmm,
That's how I feel.
I feel that
I feel that you're
just,
wrong. So that's
I just feel that certain games, with how much they're gonna put into it, if they have to do 30, they have to do
Sorry,
30.
this is gonna be a little nuts, but we're gonna do some crazy shit.
You know what? This just probably. I am the old in this group. I come from where games just. If the game is just fun, the game is fun. I didn't care if it was. I kind of don't care if it's 30 frames. I would prefer 60 frames at least, in this current age of gaming and everything. But I enjoyed. Starfield was
Yeah,
my
let's do
second
this.
favorite game of the year.
Actually, hold on.
Tears of the Kingdom is my game of the year. That game ran at 30 frames.
let's run on the Switch, dude. The thing is basically a fucking DS compared to these consoles.
I'm just saying, games running at 30 frames don't bother me that
It's
much.
fine on the Switch because whatever. Like the Switch, I'm not here, but these big developers, like Call of Duty came out and they're like, our game's gonna run at 30 frames per second. Laugh you out of the goddamn room.
Well,
That's
okay,
what they
no.
said.
See, here's the thing. That's why I said it's dependent on the game. Like Call of Duty, I remember.
Starfield should have had a 60 frames per second mode. They should have had the option. They should have developed an option to where you could have had either. You could have had the like 30 frames per second, 4K, or you could have the like 60 frames, 1080p. Hell, I take 60 frames, 720p. I don't care,
Really? Really? Huh.
dude. Yeah,
Because
Very
frame,
interesting.
because the
frames.
frames make it look like butter, dude. It makes it look
Yeah,
smoother.
frames make it everything look better. It would make it look like I think it's like one downgrade down. Like so, if a game's running at 1080, 60 frames, it looks like 4K.
Hmm.
Then you get the smoother frames.
It's very interesting. Like I said, this just makes me feel more like the old in the group because yeah,
You are.
I mean, yeah, but it makes me feel more like the old in the group that I'm just, you know,
Like you're gonna get your AARP card in like what, like a year?
oh, kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. Ah, fuck you.
You might die here, so be careful.
Yeah. Um, I don't know.
Don't
And
get out
like
of
I
the
said,
car if you need to.
30 frames not gonna bother me, but yeah, and when it comes to the, like a new Xbox coming
Oh,
out,
fuck.
I just don't I don't know what the next console generation can really do besides just I see what you're saying with the whole like make it run consistently at the
Run, run, run,
4K
run.
60, but that's just at that point it's just prettier games, and I don't
Yeah, that's
see.
all ever. That's all. Fuck. PC has
Fucking
done
run.
over the years.
Fucking
It's
run.
like you just upgrade your GPU, you upgrade your processor and stuff. Like it's just to get better frame rates so your game can run at a higher performance level. That's all gaming is. That's all you gotta do.
Mm, I don't know. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't have much more to say about that, but hey, we'll
Don't
find
really
out this week in gaming. That's gonna be the end of the show, and yeah. So we're gonna end on that. Anyways, anyone who happens to be listening to the podcast, listening to the episode, thanks for listening. We'll try to do another episode next week. We'll see if there's even a lot happening. Like I said, this was a little bit slow. What was last week's episode? It was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours or something. Like I said, try to make this weekly. But thanks for listening. And I've been 2 Beats to Kill You, Everett, Devin, JJ. You guys want to say laters?
Yeah,
Yeah.
peace out, dude. See you next
Peace
time.
out.
See you next podcast.
All right, and we will see you next week.